Right, but grandma, told me that it was. No. I didn't know any of that. Because I rarely go back there.
Well, here's the funny part.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't know anything about what's happening, you don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What do you mean?
You say you don't really go back there.
No, I go back there. I've used the toilet before, so I'm saying that's how I was the one that discovered it initially. But what I'm saying to you, when I go do, let me just do it this way. When I go do number 2, I don't go back there to do number 2.
No, but sometimes you need to go back and check.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Well, I think one thing. I feel like this. People
Football is back, and BetOnline remains your number one source for all your football betting needs this season. Hey, what's up? It's your man Lloyd Spence, and I'm so excited because it's been a great football season already. You'll find the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends at betonline.ag. And as your continued source for all sports wagering info, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, live scores, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events like Major League Baseball, MMA, tennis, boxing, and even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, to receive your rewards. Why? Because it's BetOnline, and that's where the game starts. And tell them the Noise Maker sent you.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in the back of a can. But to make it round the world, man, the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. NOIZ, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother NOIZ, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle NOIZ, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ.
2, 1, ready, come on.
What's going on, noisemakers? White organist, fire that thing up. You're here on a rare Tuesday. Let's get this thing going. I'm ready. Let's go. Come on. There you go. Praise the Lord, everybody. Tonight we dealt with some permanent issues. And we talked about the stinky dookie. It was a little uncomfortable for some of y'all. But that's all right. Don't act like you ain't been there. So with Ned in the appetizer, I'm for the conversation. So now we grab your church band and your Bible. Let's have a good time on Talkin NOIZ. Amen. And amen. And amen. Thank you, White Organist. Thank you. All right. It wasn't the beginning we thought we would have, but it's the beginning y'all got. See, this is why you got to come to the pre-show. You don't never know what's going to happen on the pre-show.
Clearly.
For those who know, huh?
You might discover that the mic is hot.
The mic is hot. But we ain't saying nothing crazy.
No, I don't think I want to know your restroom habits.
Listen. We all do number two. We've talked about this on the show before. We all do number two. Everybody doing number two out here. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Chad doing it.
No.
Nope. Doing it. Al B is doing it. We all doing it.
Oh my gosh.
So there it is. We were just trying to get things straight. What you really got a chance to see behind the scenes is the reason why we are in Arkansas right now. This is the type of stuff that we deal with. But it's all good. It's all good. I was saying. Mama NOIZ, with all that happening tonight, let me just ask you one question. Mama NOIZ, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, really? Chad putting the emojis for...
You don't have to do that, Chad. It's unnecessary, brother. It's unnecessary. You're taking it too far. Mama NOIZ, how you doing tonight?
I'm well.
You're well. You're always well. Gosh bless you, Mama NOIZ.
I mean, I'm well. It felt good outside today.
It was cold outside today. It's cold here, Mama NOIZ. It's 40 degrees.
It was not that. Listen, in Texas, I would be up before dawn.
Groom. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
I had to groom. I really need to comb.
In Texas, before dawn, I would have already been out and walked a couple of miles. So, when the daylight and it's kind of cool outside, that's,
I got you.
It was nice.
Well, listen, we like I said, we've had a good day today. It was a pretty peaceful day today. Got some stuff done. But now we're here ready to start this Talkin NOIZ program. And before we get into the actual conversation, let's go ahead and get some church announcements going. Can we do that? We need church announcements. Everybody needs church announcements. So here we go. Tomorrow night on the 5. The 5 is going to give you our NBA predictions and talk about all the great things that happened in the NFL and college football. College football was off the chain this past weekend, and we might have saw one of the greatest college football games we will ever see in Alabama and Tennessee this past weekend. So we're going to get into all of that this weekend and just have a good time talking about that. Plus, give you our NBA predictions as the NBA season kicks off tonight. So that's on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, man, we got a lot to talk about on Thursday. DJ Uyagalele and Sean Tucker of Syracuse. They're both 6-0. Probably as much about determining who the ACC champ might possibly be, or at least who will represent the Atlantic in the ACC championship game. It can all go down this weekend, and we're going to talk about all that this weekend. So there you go. And then, of course, Mama Noise, we've already done part 1. We're about to do part 1 of this amazing discussion that we're having. And then Thursday, we will continue on part 2 of this discussion that we're having called New Black City. So all of that's going down the next few days. And then we'll get into some other stuff. I got some ideas for the weekend. You know what I'm saying, Mama Noise?
Okay, can I just tell you, I thought when you said DJ ukulele,
I did not say ukulele. I did not say
it
that.
sounded like a DJ.
I said like, DJ Uyagalele.
Like the club is got DJ ukulele is coming to.
You know what? I know that was a mispronunciation on your part, but also because you didn't even try.
Man, come on. How is it racist when your name is ukulele?
See? Nope. I'm not gonna let you go.
Dang, that was racist.
His name is DJ Uyagalele. Even though most people pronounce it DJ Uyagalele.
You know what? You know what? I should get credit for being close.
You weren't close at all. Not even. You weren't even in the vicinity of close.
That was close to me.
It was butchered beyond recognition. You butchered that man's name beyond recognition. So it was.
You said
DJ Uyagalele.
Stop playing.
That's the name, Uyagalele.
DJ Uwe.
And I know that's the pronunciation because I got it directly from Dabo Swinney himself when we interviewed him.
Oh, he should know.
Right. If anybody gonna know, it's his head coach. So I know that my pronunciation is correct. Now the one I keep hearing all these other people do, I can't rock with those. But
okay, let's keep it a buck. Is he Nigerian?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's Nigerian.
One of my students at school's name was Ifechukwude.
You just wanted to flex on the one you knew because you couldn't get Uyagalele.
I mean, DJ Uwe. I mean, that sounds like something.
That's how I remember what it is because Dabo Swinney said the secret is you're like, that boy can throw that ball.
He's
and
Samoan,
so that's how he
right?
remembered it. Huh?
He's Samoan.
I think he's Samoan. I think he is Samoan.
That sounds like one of them Samoan names.
That sounds like DJ Uwe.
Yeah. Iyamaleva and Uyagalele.
Tungavalo, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's Samoan, South Pacific.
Albie, I don't know where these headphones came from, but you sound wonderful with those, bro. I don't know what just happened. Why are you giving us the area view?
Because he went to the barber shop.
Oh, that's where it came from. I couldn't
No.
see what that was back
That ain't
there.
that ain't where it came from, but she's back there watching All American on her phone, so I couldn't hear.
Oh, that's right. I missed an episode of All American. So I'm gonna have to watch that after the show. Okay.
But hold on.
I
But
agree, Chad.
notice what she's using the percussion pads for.
Oh, the percussion pads have become furniture.
It's a coaster.
An end table. When I put them on Facebook, said anybody interested, best offer. She was the only person she was the first person to respond, so I took it down.
Okay.
She's like, I'm interested. I was like, but you don't use them. Well, she's using them.
Now she's found a use for them.
Yeah, end table.
Why am I being humble flex? I said no. That's not a humble flex.
Because you said I heard it from the source.
But that's not a humble flex. That's me saying that's we interviewed the dude. And he told me
you had.
And that was a humble flex.
That's not a humble flex. That's not a humble flex.
You had a humble flex because you had Dabo on here, Debo on here with ukulele.
Somebody whose name Kenyatta, you show jack up a lot. You don't even try to get people's names.
You know what? People have been jacking up my name my whole life.
So for you, it's an eye for an eye.
Vengeance is mine.
Right, vengeance is the Lord's, not yours.
Tit for tat? Really?
You know what, Lord?
People have jacked up my name, and I have made it a point in my life.
I have friends that said your husband's name is Lloyd.
But I'm saying if you had your name jacked up as bad as we have, you would want to not jack up names.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, whoever called him Lloyd, shit need to be slapped out of him.
I mean, I was like.
I've been Lloyd, Floyd, Boyd.
Because even to get the la, you're gonna have to have some sort of vowel in between the L's. So
yeah, oh yeah.
Come on.
And don't but the real jacking up of my name has come from the spelling. For some reason, more people than not have tried to spell it L-L-Y-O-D. I don't understand that at all. I'm like, do you not know how the English language works? First of all, you can't even get a word out of L-L-Y-O-D.
Good point, Chad.
But I promise you,
Lyod.
Right. Well, Lyod, yeah. If you want to go Lyod, but the way the English language work, you're not getting Lloyd, the oi sound out of Y-O-D. So I don't know.
Lloyd.
I think people just don't be trying no more. They just give up.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna start spelling my name I-S-L-A-N-D.
I-S-L-A-N-D. So just because it really don't matter.
Island. That's the same thing. Island.
That's funny.
Or as black people say, Allen.
That's funny.
You live on the island.
You live on the island. Hey, Island.
Island
Brown.
It's true. Chad said you had the flex button because ain't nobody else interviewed.
I'm done with that. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to have my back. That's what kind of little brother? What kind of little brother is that? He have my back. Cold blooded right there. I do want to give y'all an update real quick. First of all, Al, how are you doing?
Lovely, just lovely.
Awesome. Okay, I got a quick update for you guys. It is official. The George Floyd family is suing Kanye West for $250 million. And guess what? They got a good case.
I don't think there's any merit.
I think there's a possibility.
It's the same type of merit as the Sandy Hook victim.
I was gonna say, I think now that there's precedence in the Sandy Hook case, Benjamin Crump, who I'm sure is over their case, is going to lean heavily on that Sandy Hook thing. So I don't know if they're gonna get 250, but they may do all right. Lord, you know what, Anthony Bruce? That's not right. These are my brothers that are coming after me tonight.
Dominoes, the Noid.
The Noid.
It's Noid, but yes.
Wow, Mama Noid, you come for everybody tonight. Now you want to be sensitive about spelling, but you can't pronounce Uyagalele.
Listen, you said okay. No, you said
as a former educator, you fully understand that in today's educational system, phonetically correct is all that matters. So spelling is irrelevant in today's era.
Oh,
ooh, he's talking to you.
That is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, but it's true.
Absolutely ridiculous. Because I mean, we done been having spelling tests since day one. And they ain't stopped with the spelling test. So spelling is fundamental.
Yeah, but at this point, only people that can do spelling contests is little Indian and Asian kids. And
no, that's racist.
That was racist.
What was racist?
God damn, that was racist. That was racist.
What was racist about it? It's the truth.
We just did a story last year on the young black girl that did
Who
well.
won Scripps, right?
And then what?
Who won Scripps? That's Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Right. I thought you said the one that strips.
I did. I did.
Wow.
I did not say.
No, her second choice was basketball. It was.
Oh my gosh! Stop it, Bartholomew.
Oh my goodness! No, her second choice was basketball.
No, it wasn't. No.
Oh,
it was adult entertainment.
I agree. This whole conversation, Azaria, you are correct.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh!
It's unbelievable. Anyway, I'm excited, man. This is a good day. The NBA is starting tonight. It's just a lot of wonderful things going on around us, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited about this conversation we're about to have tonight because I got some tough questions we got to get into. Some really tough questions. So we're gonna get into that here in just a second. Do we have any other updates before we dive into the depth of our discussion? Is there anything that has happened that I missed today, Mama Noise?
No.
No weird stuff that's going on.
I know this is random. But so Al, how you feel about Kroger's buying up Albertsons?
Well, Al don't know what Albertsons is, does he?
Albertsons is getting ready. I mean, Kroger's is getting ready to become king of the castle.
Yeah, they just merged, didn't they?
They did.
Mm-hmm. Even though us down here in Texas, we know that Albertsons has been raggedy.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Except for that chicken and catfish.
That one time.
No, period. In general, that chicken and catfish they got is fire.
Cooked.
The rest of the store is raggedy, but that chicken and catfish is fire.
Already cooked?
Yeah, they cook it for you. Yeah. Amazing. Maybe I would put Albertsons chicken and catfish against anybody's chicken and catfish.
Oh, wow.
It's that good.
Well,
I don't know what kind of oil it is or where they're getting it from.
What kind of
crack they put in it. Crack cocaine, but it's delicious.
Well, I'm saying the cosmetic part of the stores, their locations have been not very.
It's been terrible. Albertsons is a terrible store.
Then you say, if I'm thinking about what grocery store to go to, I am not saying, "Ooh, let me go to Albertsons," unless that's my only option.
Albertsons looked like it was built in 1943.
Matter of fact, I think it's a family-owned business.
And here's how bad it was. The you know how most grocery stores have a spindle with the metal hooks that held the bags.
Yeah.
Albertsons had an actual spindle that they would put.
Stop playing.
I'm not playing. I'm telling you.
Are you serious?
It was a round spindle that they would set the bags on, put your stuff in, and then spin it around to you. It was the most ridiculous thing you ever saw. You're like, Albertsons, y'all need to step y'all game up.
I really thought that you were.
But I'm very concerned now because with Kroger's consuming Albertsons, that also means that the chicken and catfish is going to take a nosedive.
Chicken and catfish.
Because you know Kroger's is like, our catfish is better. I'm like, nah, it's not.
Oh my god!
You know how I know because we don't rock.
Bruh, I got beef with them anyway. I was in there today, and it was, what time was it, McKenna? 6 o'clock? Not even 6 o'clock. It was when I got off work. The bakery was already closed. Customer care was already closed.
See,
I'm like, Bruh.
That's that bull right there, Al. And now they've doubled the size of bad service to you by purchasing Albertsons.
So you know me being the male Karen that I can be. Who's the manager of this store? What is the store number? Because there's no excuse. Well, you know, with the shorts, I was like, you know what? I'm sick of hearing that. Y'all got 6, 7 registers open. You mean to tell me? And you know that's unheard of.
Right.
You mean to tell me nobody can work customer care? So I was
just saying.
I'm walking around taking pictures of the plaque with the store number and the manager on it, and then the sign in customer care saying, due to staff shortage, we'll be closing today at 4:00. I'm like, you know what? I've had enough.
Wow, they closed at 4:00. Oh, the customer service closed at 4:00.
Customer care, yeah.
Gotcha. But now, Al, let me say this.
It
could be worse.
If you're going to defend them, I don't want to hear it.
No. It could be worse. I'm gonna tell you why it could be worse. Because I went to a certain Wally World yesterday at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
First of all, they've scaled the Wally World down to self-serves on most of their aisles. So they don't even have aisles, no registers no more. They got like literally in this big super Walmart, they're like 4 registers, right? So I get there, I got a basket full of stuff. And I'm saying, okay, well, where do I go? I need to go to a register. I don't need to go to a self-checkout because I got a lot of stuff and I'm going to need to like take it out, bag it, then put it back in that way. There's nobody at a register. Nobody. Yet, over in the self-checkout thing, like 6 people just standing around. So I'm saying, okay, well, is somebody gonna go to a register? Then y'all see me with this basket. They looked at me like, good luck, bro. So I said, okay, well, what do I do? Because you know them little, on the self-checkout, that little space, it ain't big as nothing.
It is.
I'm thankful that it ain't as sensitive as Kroger's, because Kroger's, you gotta stack it on there at Kroger's because it's weight sensitive. And so it won't, if you don't stack it on there, it triggers something and says, hey, you trying to steal.
Yeah.
You ain't got the thing on here. Whereas Walmart, they be like, we don't care if you steal or not. We're the number 1 retail place in the world. So whatever. So I said, okay, well, where am I going to put my stuff? Because I got a basket full of stuff. Bruh, I'm literally putting it on the ground.
Wow.
I had to put it on the bags, put it in the bags, and put it on the ground and empty out the basket, charge the thing, put it in the bag, put it on the ground. That's how I got through it. And do you think them helpers even thought about coming to help, or nah? They just looked at me like, this sucks for you, bro.
And see, it ain't like Kroger's, because Kroger's will be like, first of all, they stalking you. You thinking they trying to help you, but soon as something don't come up right or whatever, they like, is everything okay? And you're like, okay, I'm gonna need you to back up. I got this. I don't need you standing over me. Then when I need help, I can't find none of y'all.
So they got customer service open and custom people to help you, and they still won't help you. They basically gave me the middle finger the whole time I was doing my basket. So
facts. I agree. Anthony Bruce is right. It basically turned into just 2 regular lines and everything else is self-checkout.
So my thing is, we don't need y'all then. Take it to the house. We don't need y'all. If I got to do everything myself, why are you here?
Which, cuts down on, jobs that, since you're not.
They ain't doing no job. Ain't no cut down on the job. They're not doing nothing. So they're just collecting checks. And ain't none of them skilled enough to fix a machine if it break down.
Bruh. Come January 1, when I'm standing in the customer care aisle, and I step to that counter, and they say, how can we help you? I am going to say, I need my W-2, because 7 out of 10 times I come in this store, I have to check out and bag my own groceries.
All I'm saying.
I may stand in that line with you because all I'm saying, if I'm the one,
You're bagging, you're scanning.
I'm bagging, I'm scanning. Feels like I work here. You don't work here.
Yeah,
All
no.
you doing is just standing there. So I'm the one that need to either one or two things y'all happen. Y'all need to pay me a full one, or me and the dude that's standing there watching me need to split this check.
How many times have you had to walk back outdoors and get a cart?
Oh wow.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
No, I think the part is when everybody goes to this one particular checkout, then they say, this is cash only. Okay, you need a bigger sign that says cash only. Well, you got all these people waiting in line, and people get up there and you discover it's cash only. Or they say you discover this is only debit cards. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna need y'all to create a lane that says if you're gonna have a bunch of self-service lanes, at least have a big enough sign that says cash only or debit cards only or whatever only, so that we won't waste our time standing in line.
But you know what, Anthony Bruce, and I understand what you said. I welcome the robots. I welcome them. Because at least my shit will be consistent.
What?
At least I'll get the same thing every time I show up. I won't have to worry about it being good this time and bad the next. I welcome the robots. At least the customer service is the same every time I show up to Kroger's. It won't be different one time, and you know, the robot might offer me some help. Would you like some assistance? You know, on iRobot, they ask, would you like some assistance? Now, the nigga might try to choke me out at some point, but until that happens and the malfunction goes down, we good.
Wow. You welcome.
I welcome the robots.
I don't know. I feel some kind of way about the robots. But however, like Azaria in the chat said she'd never been to a HEB. Let me tell you, HEBs have invaded the DFW area, and folks is just like, can't wait until the one in North Texas opens, because it is the creme de la creme of grocery stores.
Well, that's what they say. We'll see. I you know what? I reserve judgment on all of it until I can see it.
I went to the store when I was in Houston. I went to HEB and was like, this store is immaculate.
Yeah, but they're gonna make you pay immaculate prices too. Don't nobody give you immaculate without a cost.
Now you have me questioning, okay, is this just a super Tom Thumb?
That's exactly what it is. You think it's gonna be cheaper? No. Let me tell you something. The nicer it is, the more you paying. That's how this works. So
okay,
that's where we headed. But you know, the alternative is I'm putting groceries on the floor. So I guess I gotta suck it up and just
groceries on the floor. I can't
groceries on the floor. That's that new Bruno Mars.
No, I'm gonna tell you, first thing that came to my mind was acting like a fool with your pants on the ground.
That's inappropriate.
Well,
that was totally inappropriate. Shame on you.
Well,
shame on you.
I have a posed question.
Okay, hurry up because we got to get through the rest of the show.
Okay, the posed
question. I
question.
didn't hurry up, but I'm just saying.
Okay, well, it turns out that people will pay a whole lot of money for nostalgia.
This ain't Black Friday. What are you doing? What story is this?
All the adults that are now wanting adult Happy Meals at McDonald's.
Oh, why are you talking about this now?
I have heard people in my newsfeed that are like, oh, I can't wait till I get the Halloween pumpkin, meal at McDonald's. And I'm going, these people are not 5 years old. These people are not.
Are we really talking about?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Isn't all of them adult Happy Meals, like a Big Mac, a fry, and a drink? Ain't that an adult Happy Meal?
Isn't every combo a Happy Meal?
It doesn't come in the nostalgic pumpkin, or the nostalgic one that's like a ghost, or the nostalgic one that's like a Frankenstein face.
Mm.
And it's apparently it's that serious where people are looking for the toy inside, adults.
Oh, okay.
You know,
You got a toy?
sir.
Mess around, they're gonna get a rosebud or whatever it's called. Saved by the bell.
Oh, damn.
Really?
I tell you what, if they get a rosebud in that bad boy, this sucker's gonna sell out instantly. That line gonna be in the street. Women gonna be.
They're gonna start fighting like when Popeyes came out with their chicken sandwich.
Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. Hey, I need 3 adult Happy Meals, and 3 Diet Cokes.
Ma'am, your limit is 2 per customer.
That ain't what the sign said.
I need to see your. Hold on.
I need to see your man.
You know what?
I didn't see your
You're a
manager.
little bit racist, and that's part of the problem. We talk about fighting over the adult Happy Meals, and you automatically go into your Shaquita voice.
Who, me? I'm racist?
Right.
Hold on.
Why you go into your African American dialect?
Hold on one second, Al. What restaurant were we talking about again?
Popeye.
No, we weren't talking about Popeye. I said adult Happy Meal. What restaurant are we talking about?
1 billion served. You best
Mickey
believe
D.
majority of them are Wahites.
The golden.
Oh, we made our contribution too now.
Yeah, but you best believe nationwide the majority is Wahite.
Okay, well, you know what? Yeah, but only Shaniqua won. Well, you know what? I take that back.
You know what? Just give yourself the button. Just give yourself the button so we
No,
can
I
move
take
on.
that back. I'll do it, but I'm saying. Let me explain why I gave myself the button. If they're giving out Rosebud, Allison is gonna be pissed too. She gonna be pissed.
Nope.
If she can't get 3, she gonna be pissed. How you doing today? I'd like to get 3 of your adult Happy Meals and also some of your Dasani water for all 3. Ma'am, the limit is 2.
Anthony Bruce said 3 Happy Meals and 4 AA batteries.
4 double batteries, right.
Sorry, ma'am. Read the fine print. Batteries not included.
Batteries not included.
I
Right.
didn't know it was that serious.
Yeah,
I was shocked.
batteries. So
Shocked enough where the adults are like, move over, kids. Y'all playing. We know as close to Halloween, and we want these Happy Meals.
that's ridiculous, Kieta Spence. And I'm appalled that you brought that story up.
I saw people in my news, they were so excited. They was like, it's almost time to get that Happy Meal. I was like, these are grown people.
Well, listen, it's the ABCs of the world we live in. You can sell people anything, any shit you can get away with.
Well, if they can sell people bottled water, then there's that.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump on in. Because it's about that time. We've bantered enough here. Like I said, I'm excited about tonight's show because I believe societally we are in need of a new black city, and conceptually, let us explain how we arrived at this conversation. We arrived at this conversation because last week we talked about in order to fix, and I'm using air quotes, the black community, we have to start making some hard changes, which require hard conversations. And so the city, really truthfully, is metaphorical in the nature that we're not necessarily talking about a specific location, but a set of rules, governances. I probably jacked that word all the way up. Dare I say, I don't say laws, but just a culture, reestablishing a new culture for ourselves that allows us to become what we're capable of becoming. So that's kind of how we arrived at the new black city. We actually stumbled into it by starting the conversation with the Defenders of the Earth's favorite place to start, with black women, and what the standard was or is for today's black woman.
And of course, the defender of the earth talked about how, it's the black man's fault and blah, 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 blah. I get it. And there's some truth to what he's saying, but there's also the results that we don't talk enough about. And we got to start figuring out how we're going to walk this back, because we are where we are right now. Okay. So regardless of whose quote unquote fault it is, we are where we are. So how do we walk it back? How do we walk back from what we used to be years and years and years ago, the standards that we used to live by culturally, to where we currently are? How do we walk that back? And what are the elements that walk it back? I mean, what are the methods and elements that we walk it back? I'll start this conversation by saying something that's interesting, or telling a quick interesting story. I hope it's interesting anyway. I watched Saturday Night Live this weekend. Well, not this weekend, but I watched it today, the one that went down this weekend. And the guest host and musical guest was Meg Thee Stallion. And one of the skits that they had Meg do was the hot girl hot girl hospital or something like that. But anyway, the three girls were behind the counter at the hospital, and they were critiquing everything that was going on at the hospital. And so the skit basically played into every stereotypical thing that ties into the quote unquote hot girl summer. And as I listened to it, I thought to myself, wow, this is why I get that it's supposed to be satirical. It's probably not great, because black people don't watch Saturday Night Live a lot. A lot of black people don't watch Saturday Night Live. Mostly Caucasians, other ethnic groups watch Saturday Night Live. And with that being true, the imagery that they think they're presenting, my black brothers and sisters on the show, that's not what they're presenting. It doesn't come across as satirical. It comes across somewhat like offensive. But how do I be offended by something that Meg Thee Stallion created? He created Hot Girl Summer. She created black girls doing ratchet shit. Right? Speaking ratchet, talking ratchet. Oh, girl, hey, turn up, blah, blah, blah. They created that. So we have created or recreated what the modern black girl looks like. And therein lies maybe the issue that we're the challenge. One of the biggest challenges that we're having is that the modern black girl looks different than what she used to look like. Like, I don't know, or maybe she doesn't. I don't know, but I'm curious to have this conversation with you guys. So I'll start my first question with you and Al, Mama Noise, is what does a 2022 black woman / black girl look like?
Are you talking physical characteristics, or
I'm talking the whole package? Physical characteristics, attitude, the full presentation. What does it look like?
fake?
And is that acceptable to us?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw fake out there. One word.
Did you say fake?
I did.
Wow.
Fake eyebrows, fake rear ends, fake boobs, fake lifestyles. The things they perpetuate on social media are not real. Fake happiness. They present themselves as, being the hot girl, YOLO, only living once,
Right.
Bad bitch, all of those other things, but that's not true. So I'm going to describe it in one word. That's how I see. Now, of course, there are exceptions to the rule, but if we're talking majorities, that's what I see a lot.
Wow, that's strong now. That's strong. But we said we were having a candid conversation, so I guess we're off and running.
Oh,
Mama Noise, what are your thoughts?
I didn't realize that I was not on screen. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Mama Noise, what do you think? I don't know if Al's wrong. I really don't.
Empty.
Ooh, well, y'all coming in hot. Y'all coming in hot. Empty and fake. Explain empty to the people.
I think that you'd have to be an empty individual to need all of those things. And this is not, because then I get the feedback of people that say, what's wrong with people getting these things and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that it's something wrong with you getting, extra eyelashes and those different things. But I mean, when you have to, it says that we're not satisfied with who we are when we have to have all those things. That's where I get the word empty from.
When did we create this societal beauty pageant? Well, let me say it this way. When did we create this perpetual societal beauty pageant where we're all competing for whatever this prize is? And what is the prize? Like, I don't understand what the prize is. Like, is it money? Is it fame? Is it a combination of all of that? Is it, what is the prize now? Because I for people to go to the links that both of you are talking about, which I don't disagree. I think those are two very interesting and, dare I say, accurate assessments, fake and empty. What would drive a society or a group of people in a society to strive so, the only word I can think of here is passionately, to gain those things or to be the way that they are? Just, I mean, is money the driving factor? What is it that we're after? Does it make sense? I probably didn't phrase that right, but
no, I understand what you said. I think it's fear.
Okay, what does that mean? Explain that.
Your fear of being left behind, being left out. You're not being chosen. So I gotta get all this extra stuff because I don't want to be the one that is not chosen or the one that gets left behind or the one that I look up and I'm 40 and I feel like it's fear.
But a lot of them are being left behind though. In this thing. Listen, in the construct that we currently have, there can only be one pageant winner. So that means, in the Miss America pageant, there is one winner and 49 losers. That's how this works. So I don't understand Well, okay. Andy Bruce said it all started in the 80s. I don't know what that means. You gotta explain that one, big bro. And I'm just trying to understand what you just said, Mama Noise, because you said fear is the driving factor of not being chosen, of not being so.
Yeah. You don't want to lose a man or lose an opportunity to get in a relationship with somebody because your booty ain't big enough.
So is the man still the prize anymore?
I believe he is.
Well, what?
Anthony Bruce says so women don't need a man, but they want to be chosen. They want to be chosen by the man. They want to be the one that he. It's like we've always been told, a man will be faithful to the one woman that he wants. A man will commit to the one woman. A man will marry the one woman. And you saying, man, I don't want to be the woman. I want to be the one that he wants to commit to, the one he wants to marry, the one he wants to be faithful to, the one I want to be chosen by that man. There's plenty of guys out here that just want shake and fake and just collect numbers and collect bodies and all them other things that the young folks are saying. There's plenty of guys like that, but you're saying I want to be people always say, well, my parents were married, blah 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 years. My grandparents were married, blah 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 years. Okay, they're like, okay, I want that type of commitment. I want that type of a person who loves like that, who says I'm in it for the long run, the long haul, not somebody who's just
right. You want that, but is that the same?
I believe that's what they want.
See, and I don't know if that's true.
Okay,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just questioning it because I'm saying it that's still obtainable, I think. But maybe not to the level by which you might dream. Here's what I mean by that. Because, see, to me, the dream is convoluted. If you want a man, hell, if you want a decent man or a good man, that's still possible. Now, the problem with your wanting that good man or that decent man or that hardworking man might literally be a hardworking man. He may work at that factory or that grocery store or the post office or the whatever, construction site, whatever. He may not have that high 6-figure, 7-figure job. He may not be the creme de la creme. And to me, it feels like the beauty pageant has changed in that we're not looking to just find a good man. We're all chasing after the crown. And that's the part I don't understand. Like, when did the chase change from I want just a good man that's going to love me and treat me right and not beat on me and not fight me and not argue all the time? When did it change from that to I want the crown? I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the crown. I'm going to inject this booty. I'm going to put in these titties. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the crown. You muted out.
Man, I said about 2-3 cents.
Oh, sorry.
There's been a massive shift that is no longer the goal. A husband is not the goal anymore. Maybe the goal is a good man, but it's not a husband. So they satisfied with a good man. You know what I mean? Even if it's not just their man. You know what I'm saying? Which is why we have folks easily or accepting of the title sneaky link or side chick or side piece if it's a male, whatever the case may be. I'm not just isolating women.
Right.
No longer is the goal family vacations. The goal now is vacations. No longer is the goal future stability. It's living my best life. Or as Meg Thee Stallion would say, hot girl summers. Well, what are you going to do in the fall and the winter? But, it's short-term goals now. It's not long-term.
So it's not building at all.
Oh, no. It's YOLO. You only live once.
So take advantage of this moment.
Get that BBL.
Which goes back to what Mama Noise said about empty. An empty person is not planning for tomorrow because they don't believe there is one. The empty person says, "I need it all right now." Now, Cuz would say, and hopefully he'll be easy and route whatever. It's because of a breakdown in the family, and by the way, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. There is a breakdown in the family. I do, however, think that because of that breakdown and the erosion that is taking place and the trauma that is taking place and the frustration and anger that is taking place among our Black women, it is deeply eroded our families or our attempts at building families, because now, wow, this is going to be strong. Now children are the casualties of war. Does that make sense? Like, I'm after this same thing that Al just said. I want to be flued out. I want to baller. I'm a sneaky link, blah, 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 blah. But if I get caught in the midst of this and I have this kid, well, that's just security. So now I can hit this dude up for this paper, but I don't have to make a commitment per se. I don't have to make a commitment, and I still can keep my long-term goals of being quote unquote chose by the baller I want, even though it makes it a little harder. So that's one of the reasons why the Kevin Samuels thing took off the way that it did, is because of this massive shift that we're talking about of concept. You know, I want the top prize. I want the top prize. And I don't know. That's, to me, that's shocking, because we've eroded love to such a place that it's almost non-existent. Love? What is that?
It's not solely that it's non-existent. It's just not that important.
It's not that important.
It's not that high up the list of priorities anymore. You know, I'd rather be happy than loved. I'd rather have possessions than love. You know, I'd rather have a man that could take me places I've never been than a man that can give me things I've never dreamed of. If that makes sense.
It does. Well, to me, it does. Irony of what you just said. I was riding along today. I had to go run some errands, and a couple of songs came on back to back to back to back, and the last one ended with I think it was Chris Brown, and he said, "I will make you feel things sexually you have never even dreamed of." Playing off the statement you just made. I will do this, and you can just hold on, and I'll take you for a ride, and I'll do this and I'll do that. Now, at no point in that song did he speak of any level of a commitment of any kind. Not a dating commitment, not a marital one, barely even. I'm not even sure he said it was a date. It felt more like we just met at the club. You're right. It's a hookup, and we just, we're gonna kick it here. And to Anthony Bruce's point, there is a childishness that, right, same thing. Yeah, there's a childishness that has emerged societally in our community, and wow, my baby said it's like saying love, like certain holidays become commercialized. I would say commercialized, but I would say it has grossly been watered down. Like love in our Black community, love for our Black women love for our black men, love for love's sake, love for marriage sake has been grossly diminished. And now here's where we get into the real weeds. Now love is more defined as loyalty and some measure of completion. And what I mean by that is I can find love from whoever is available, and it doesn't and that's not necessarily gender specific. Whatever is available to me, I'll just call that love. Right? And so if it's a man, if it's a woman, I'll love the one I'm with, and I'll try to make it work.
Close enough.
Right, close enough. And so now a community that was already struggling to keep families together has been further watered down, and I know there are people that would say, no, people should be allowed to love. You've got antiquated ideas. People should be allowed to love who you, whatever you want to love. And you know what? Fortunately or unfortunately, that's true. It is true that you're allowed to love who you want to love. But it doesn't help us societally. And it certainly doesn't help us build the type of healthy families that allow our communities to grow and flourish anymore. Because there's gaps. Now there's these emotional and mental and spiritual gaps that we've created that are making it hard to build on. If any of that makes sense. Hey Tara, how you doing? Mama Noise, does that make sense to you? What we're saying, or you muted?
I don't know. I'm kind of perplexed. Could you?
Okay.
Well, I'm perplexed on the point. What exactly are you trying to say?
I'm saying that when a society decides that everything is on the table and it no longer has or refuses to live by some of its more historical constructs of marriage and relationships and this, that, and the other, then inevitably you're shifting the societal balance and what we are to become. So now, if I can find love in whatever, or love is no longer the goal, then as a young black man, I don't have to get in a relationship. I can get all of the benefits of relationships and marriage without ever having to make the commitment. I don't need the commitment anymore. I can get as much sex as I want. As Al said, I can go on a vacation. I can romance whoever I want. I can switch out every night if I want. I can do whatever I want to do because there's no more rules.
If we get into it, I could leave you down there.
I can leave you there.
Wow.
There's no boundaries.
Wow.
Not only are there no boundaries, there's no rules, there's no regrets, there's no restrictions, there's nothing. It's all, it is what it is. I'm sorry, Mama Knows. I know you hate that.
Right.
Yes,
I
do.
can traumatize the shit out of you, and there's no consequence to it. There's no consequence to it anymore. Now there are consequences. Your consequences just don't concern me.
Wow.
I mean, that's what we're saying. That's where we are. Listen to what I said about the Chris Brown song. That dude said, "I'll make you feel what no man can make you feel. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do all of this stuff to you." And then But at no time during the song he said, "And you'll be my girl forever." He was just like, "I'll do all the stuff you want me to do. Make you feel things you ain't never felt. Make you it, you know, but I ain't saying I'm going to commit to you."
Eyeballs through your brain.
Right. But some of those constructs were not built on falsehood. They weren't. They were built on real things. But we decided those things weren't comfortable with us. We weren't comfortable with all those things. And I'm not saying, listen, don't confuse the constructs with the actions of the individuals. Those are two separate conversations. Because if you want to talk about how we, because I'm not blaming, now let me say this. I am not blaming this generation for where we are, because I don't think it's their fault.
Okay.
I'm saying here's where we are. It has got really, really, really bad. And it has steadily eroded itself over a period of time to the point where what we think should be happening is really unidentifiable. Like I don't, Mama Noise. When did you think in society we get to a place where the person that marries the person is someone that got their ministerial license on the internet for $25? That's where we are. Like all of the things that we had constructionally, societally, have all broken down. Now, granted, the dude that got his $25 license on the internet, possibly more honorable than the pastor down the street. Possibly. Because that pastor might be cheating on his wife and doing all types of stuff, and who knows? But the steady erosion of those constructs, or what we thought were good constructs, maybe they were never good all along. I don't know. But that's the question we're talking. That's the conversation we're having tonight. How did we get here? Let's see what Tara's saying. Tara's saying most were built on women taking crap and being voiceless. As long as men paid the bills, we must deal with the real issue. Let me read that again because I missed something. Because most were built on women taking crap and being voiceless as long as men paid the bill. I don't know if that's wrong. Because some of that's spot on. I can't say it's not. But not every relationship was women taking crap, though. I don't want to. That's very broad. That's very broad. Some of it, some men were trying to do right by their wives. And I know in my family, it was as many trying to do right as there were a couple that didn't do right. But the majority were trying to do right. So I don't want to say that that's the way it was all the way across the board, because I don't think that's true.
I don't know if she's saying all the way, but because
I don't think she is, nor am I accusing her of that. I'm saying
that's a part of the problem. We always go into defense fucking mode.
Well, first of all, stop coming in hot.
Problem.
First of all, stop coming in hot. You speak. Hey.
Truth that the women speak.
Hey, you come in and you speak first and to acknowledge Mama Noise and do all the other shit you do, and then you can get into it.
Out of this bullshit. Women speak the truth about what's going on, and we admit it. I don't know. You know, some men are doing their part.
That's not what I said, Negro child. You don't listen well. That ain't what I said. I didn't say all the men were doing right. What I said is that it's not. I don't want to put that on every man that did wrong. That's not what happened.
Any woman from this point on, can we acknowledge on this here podcast, any woman that says that wrong is being done is not talking about all men. Can we stop that?
We can, if you too, sir, can acknowledge the fact of the same truth. That is the problem we're having, sir.
But you did say according to the Chris Brown lyrics.
I did say that, and that's what now I understand what Tara's saying. I get what she's saying, and again, I have a massive problem with that. Where we're listen, it's all what we're talking about is how we landed here, and because it's bad. It really is bad. It saddens me that you could turn on the radio tonight and listen to an hour's worth of radio, and you will not hear one song, not one, about romance, about commitment, about love, about building something. Those songs are non-existent now. Those images are becoming non-existent. That's why I was so angry with you guys for not loving Blackish, because it was the one show. It was one of the few shows that showed a healthy black family.
I'm gonna get your life together and move on.
You part of the problem. You are part of the problem.
What? Now look.
Her and Rondo, they're part of the problem.
Her and Rondo are part of the problem for sure. I don't know about it. That's a tough one, Anthony Bruce. That's a tough one. I don't know if a lot of women jumped into it knowing it was crap. I think a lot of women got in with good intentions and then ended up,
I think that it and I don't know how this sounds, but it sounds to me like before it was only men that had options. Now it seems like everybody got options. Where like Tara was saying earlier that men would get married and then feel like because they're the breadwinner and they pay the bills or whatever, they can go make families wherever they want. If I can afford it, I can make one around the corner with Maybelle and then have kids by her and then come on back around the corner.
Did you say Maybelle? Oh my!
Yeah, that was one of the oldest things we've ever had said on this
I was trying to make sure the cuz could relate. And
I know some Maybells now. Shit, yeah.
Well, that's why she said it. She said so. She nailed that. Did good job, Mama Noah.
You make a few babies around there, then you come back on around the corner. She ain't acting right or she ain't giving it up. No problem. I go around to Maybelle. She got a nice hot meal in case I come through and stuff. So now women have options.
And that ties with what Tara was just saying. I couldn't get my thought together. What Tara was just saying is that the original constructs were built in favor of men. So they were flawed in some measure right from the very, very start. Mm-hmm. There was an honor or a disconnect of honor in the concept right from the start for a lot of men. A lot of men decided, I want my cake and I want to eat it too. Mm-hmm. So that is a problem. That is a massive problem to this conversation.
It is.
The challenge of it is the response that women said, well, we like cake also. So damn it, we're going to go out here and get cake too. But now we all out here trying to eat cake and don't nobody want to build an actual meal. And guess what? Everybody eating cake and no healthy meals is a problem.
But dare I say that it was passed along from generation to generation where certain mamas and auntie nails was like, look, he can provide. He's a provider. So you and the children can have a place to stay.
Right.
Y'all not going to be hungry. So if you got to put up with a few things, I'm telling you, I don't know
but Mama Noise, to your point, the same thing is still happening without the ceremony or the ring. So going back to what Al said, now they're saying, I want the provision, I want the be flued out and the money and all this other ish, but I'm not going to commit to you until, well, I don't know if they ever commit, some of them, but there's a proving ground. there's a greater proving ground. Maybe, by the way, maybe there should be a better proving ground. Maybe that's part of the problem, that there was no substantial proving ground in the older days. And so women just, they got suckered in easy, or whatever that is. And they should have made men work harder. I don't know.
Well, that's why I was saying that if you remember that movie called A Family That Prays, when old girl said, now, in order to be comfortable, we have to tolerate some things. And some things is like, you may not be the only one, but you his wife though. So that you got to tolerate stuff.
But that's horrible advice.
And then you got some women that are being taught to be the side chick. At least you ain't got to live with him, but you gonna be comfortable. You're gonna be taken care of. And he may be an old dude, but at least you like, we're not capable of taking care of ourselves.
And this is a good point as well. And that's one of the things we keep going back to this. He said, for every family across town, there are fathers who raise some other man's children. That is also true. That is also true. Mm-hmm. All right, cuz, jump in there. You right there now.
He's still stuck on Maybell.
Did Anthony Bruce just say for every family across town that there's a father who raised some other man's children?
That's what he said.
Lies. Yeah. Lies.
That's not true. I totally
it's not a lie, but it is not completely accurate.
Well, it's not the truth.
Well, there are several examples of fathers raising other men's kids, but
absolutely,
the statement in itself is inaccurate because you can't say for every family.
There you go.
I think that's inflated.
There you go.
As well, but I wouldn't go as far as to say it was a lie.
Yeah, it's not a lie. It's just not.
Hello. Listen, can I talk, Linda?
Hurry up, nigga.
For every is a false statement. That's a lie.
Inaccurate.
Yeah, he don't like all and every.
A lie would imply intentional deception.
Right.
I don't think he's trying to intentionally deceive us. I think he may just be off with his
I think his point is that there are a lot of men who did step up and say, I see your circumstances, and I'm gonna help you regardless of your circumstances.
Listen, on this here podcast, from this point forward, in the name of Jesus, pick up your bed and walk.
What has just happened? What just?
On this here podcast, from this day forward, let's stop it with the defense. We understand that there are good black men out there raising other boys. We understand that there are good black men out there doing the doggone thing. Those black men are not our problem. Our problem is we don't have enough of that.
But go ahead, Al, because I feel like you're going to say, unmute Al. There you go.
We have to make those statements because we have to defend
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Those men, because if not, there would be individuals. And I know when you make those statements, you don't mean everybody. There's exceptions, and I know that. But when you make statements like all men ain't shit, men ain't doing their part. So if we allow those statements to go unchecked, you know what I'm saying? So I understand your point, cuz, but we cannot make those statements, or those louder voices are going to be heard and nothing else is going to be heard.
Go ahead, cuz. I'll write mine down because you know you.
I mean, I just got on the damn podcast. Can I say one or two things?
Say it then. Say it then.
Shit, hell. That's two things.
I'll write mine down. Go ahead.
Shit, I forgot mine.
Your old ass.
Can I say one or two things? Let's move backwards.
So you forgot the one and the two of the things. Like both of them. You just forgot them both.
Well, we can go ahead to the chat where Anthony Bruce is saying, I am saying there are women who don't tell their husbands they've been stepping out.
Okay, so here was my point.
Thank you. Thank you, Holy Spirit.
I am not vulnerable, and I don't think you two gentlemen are vulnerable to the frustration and anger of our women in our community and their feelings towards Black men in general. Listen to me. If my daddy was a piece of shit, and all the men that I've come in contact with were pieces of shit, how do I look past the shit and see good? Hold on. How do I look past the shit and see good when the relationships that I believe are good turn out to be shit?
Right. That's why it's so important that's why it's important to tell the complete story. And I wrote mine down. Hold on. I wrote mine down because I knew you was going to, go in what you said. And I said, this is exactly what I wrote. It's critical that we tell the complete story because both narratives affect hope. And that's the problem. If we tell an incomplete story on both sides, then now hope is ultimately affected. And that goes to what you just said. If all I've seen is a shit show of a father that didn't do it, an uncle that didn't do it, a nephew that learned from the father that didn't do it, then how do I ever believe that there's anything other than bad men out there?
And I might be wrong, but I take from Cuz's statement that the implication is that there's not men out there staring at pieces of shit. You would have us believe that men ain't shit and women are the way they are because men ain't shit. Well, that might be the case, but here's a good man, and I'm bragging on myself.
Right.
I'm staring at women that ain't shit.
Right.
Women that are and maybe it's because of the examples they had in their lives. You may very well be right, but that's no excuse.
But that's why, again, it's so important to tell the whole narrative. We gotta and you're right. We gotta eliminate the all factor, but at the same time, we also have to tell the part about, hey man, it's happening all over the place, because otherwise we end up where we are, where we got women that are saying, I might as well just have an open relationship because this nigga ain't gonna do right. Or I might as well have an open relationship because this chick ain't do right. Or I might as well have an open relationship because I can't do right.
There should never be a world where I, as a single man, have to tell a woman, no ma'am, I don't mess with married women.
Right.
Stop coming at me like that.
But that's the world we live in right now. That is the world we live in right now. Hey, I notice that you're a good man, that you love your wife. I don't necessarily want a full commitment from you, but I just want you to give me pleasure like you give your wife. And that's enough for me. That's the world we live in right now. I'm willing to share you with somebody else to find just a measure of happiness. Now, is that toxic? Is that a result of all of the bad, like you said, cuz shit that she's seen? Absolutely. Have men failed her over and over and over again and pushed her to that place? Absolutely. But how do we turn it to what we want the new Black city to look like? I think it starts with truth and hope. And here's Tara saying the same thing Al's saying.
She finds the same thing, but a salon have to look at the culture norms where I am. I have to admit it's time for me to move if I plan on getting married again. Wow. It's and listen, I'm thankful for Tara, I'm thankful for Al, because they're actually out here. Cause me, you, and Mama Noy, we ain't been out there in almost 30 years. So we don't know what the hell is going on right now. But we see it and we know it's bad. It looks bad from where we're sitting.
We may not know that facet of it, but we do know, if you're a married person, and when somebody try to push up like you being married don't mean nothing.
And see, Tara saying DFW is not a good area. I've heard the same thing about Atlanta. I've heard the same thing about LA. I've heard the same thing about New York. So damn, if we cutting off all the major cities, where the hell are you supposed to go?
Utah.
Go ahead, cuz. Tell us how wrong we are.
I would say this: we all as participants in this here podcast agree on what's being said. Here's my fear of the discussion, or what I believe the discussion has become over the years. We have cancer in our community.
Yes.
But the doctor keeps telling us, well, even though you have cancer, your weight is good, your blood pressure is good, sugar's normal. Doc, let's address this damn cancer I got over here. Well, your gout's under control. Doc, fuck the gout. I got cancer.
Right.
I fear that in society, unless we're being brutally honest with the erosion of the family and why it has taken place, I agree with you 100%. There are women that don't value marriage. But there's a reason why they're there. We don't have to we don't have to study hard to figure out why those women are there. Most of the men they know cheat. So why wouldn't they expect for you to do it?
Why can't it be most of the women they know cheat? My mama cheated on my daddy. Why does it always fall on the men?
You know, I'm gonna say this from this standpoint, and people buckle so side. Look at the butterflies fly.
What just happened? Did you just speak? Was that your version of tongues?
I'm gonna say this from this standpoint.
That was wild. I've never.
I'm gonna say this from this standpoint, and please let's have this discussion.
Okay.
It may be old fashioned. Y'all might not like it. Some won't receive it. But truly, I believe in my hearts of hearts. Wow, I'm choking tonight. That men are the head. And truly, what we do is followed. Now, some women might not like that because they consider themselves independent and they've overcome now and they no longer have to follow. But we are the head. I blame men because I'm the head. And as I go, my family goes. I hold us as the head responsible. Because all you got to do is sit quietly, sit still for a little bit and think back. And if you trace her activities back to her childhood, it was because a man was absent, a man abused, a man misused. Just trace her activity back. Mm-hmm. Now we can skip all that and now look at the finished product and say she fucked up. But the reality is there's a cause and an effect.
I want to address what you just said, and also by simultaneously address what Tara just said, because she said if we're brutally honest, the power structure changes, and the men who create these concepts don't want that. I want to stop right there because that is interesting and maybe even critical at the concept of what we're talking about. Can men? I'm going to ask the four of you, the three of you. Four including the chat. Can men assume the I'll say it like this. Can men assume the God-given responsibility of leadership while also simultaneously building or reconstructing the concepts of what good Black families look like in concert with the women that we have damaged? Do we have the maturity and the capacity to do that? That's a hard question.
You know, I'm slow, so I need you to break that one down just one more.
So in other words, you said, cuz, and I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. But that men are the head. Okay. Now, what we also know to be true is that most of the constructs societally and culturally that men built from from our time in this country have been built for the advantages of men.
Sure.
They did not take women and their needs, their desires, their wants, their abilities, their intelligences, did not take them in consideration. So that's why we got to the concept of the man is the head of the house, meaning in most men's mind, he's the boss. He tells you what to do. You follow. You don't question and all of that stuff. That, as over time we've come to understand, is bullshit.
Correct.
So now, in order to really truly fix this, we've got to come back to the societal cultural table and say, how do we reestablish? Because now trust has been damaged. Would you agree? How do women trust men to rebuild the concept where the concept is fair to everybody and we can build truly healthy families? Mama Noise, we can hear everything you type.
I struggle with the word fair to everybody because I don't know if we're looking for fairness.
Okay, then what are we looking for?
As much as we're looking for equal roles. Your role is just as important as my role. So I value you as a person. Listen, in any functional marriage, somebody's taking one for the team at all times. I don't care how you look at it. Somebody's looking at the bigger picture and denying themselves, if only for a moment. Or it may be for the 18 years. Or it may be for 30, 40, whatever it is. Somebody is taking a back seat to somebody for a time period. Let me tell you something. This dual income, everybody dreaming of success and wanting success is why most of those marriages fail. Because no one's really looking at the bigger picture for the whole. They're actually out for themselves. I got to go get this money just in case this thing don't work. I got to go get this money so that I feel more important. I got to go get this money so that I have achieved what I set out to achieve. at some point you have to put I down because I is not in the team environment. We are a team.
Pause that for a second.
Husband and wife with the goal of building together.
Pause that for a second, because I want to add back in what we said earlier. The reason why we're here, though, is because of, again, historical negligence from men who did exactly what you said, built and wrapped it into a construct that was favorable for them. I'm going to go get your ass, I'm going to marry your ass, then I'm going to go get some more ass around the corner, across the city, off the side, when I'm on my business trip. I'm going to go get as much as I want. You are confined to be here at this house and do what I tell you to do and raise these kids, and the whole concept of barefoot and pregnant and all those other things. So my point is, to your point, that damage cannot be ignored in this conversation, because you're right. It doesn't change what must happen in order to have a successful marriage. There has to be sacrifice. We all know, those of us who are hopefully having successful marriages, we all know sacrifices have to be made. But in the midst of that, there is a damage of societal and historical trust that has occurred. How do we restore that?
Well, part of that is because we consider our value and how much we make, our jobs. Most of us consider our value outside of our homes. And what is it, and what I bring back to the home. We don't consider our value.
Uh-oh. That was weird. He just stopped mid-sentence. Okay. Is a wife and a husband an honorable thing anymore?
I'll be the first to answer that. As a divorcee, absolutely. I still see honor in one husband and one wife.
I apologize, y'all. My dearly beloved mother-in-law, you know, the one that I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Just decided to walk into my office.
That's right.
Walked right.
That's right. That's right.
She
lived long enough. She can do that.
You know what she just told you? I run shit.
Not when she don't have a bra on.
That was.
It's not like they're not to see the bindangos before, man.
Everybody don't need to see that.
Yeah. Well,
oh, damn.
Jingle jangle, man. Jingle jangle. Bless her heart.
I apologize. I don't know where I was. I don't know where we were.
Well, listen, I think the whole show is taking a dark turn. I don't know.
Well, you pick up where we are. Lloyd posed the question: is there any honor in marriage?
Still, in being a husband or a wife. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, we, quote unquote, older people still believe that. How do we reinstill that back into today's society? That the most honor well, let me ask this. Is it one of the most honorable things that you can do still? Absolutely. Is to be a good husband, is to be a good wife. Absolutely. Is it still one of the most honorable things?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now how do we take that simplistic message of power and honor and reestablish that back into a desire for that back into today's young person?
Because what's the purpose of the honoring? What's the purpose of the union? See, because we don't have a purpose, we actually believe that we get married just so we can fuck when we want to fuck.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
I don't know us. Did I say something wrong? You
know you did. That's why you asked me.
We believe that when we get married, it's all about you making me happy, not me making you happy. We don't have long-term goals in marriages. Our marriages are day to day. And if you didn't give me some ass today, you better give it to me tomorrow. Or else I'm gonna have to go get my ass from somewhere else. Then you're not looking at the bigger picture.
Is the bigger picture still connected societally? And what I mean by that is my marriage supposed to help steal the Black community? The success of my marriage?
Absolutely.
I don't think that's how we see it today.
Well, that's the problem.
I'm going on my vacation with my friends, and we gonna turn up, and we gonna post it on the gram and post it on Facebook, and oh, look at what we doing, this, that, and the other, and wish you could do it too. That's how we see it.
We're not setting goals to be a blessing to our families. That's not our goal of marriage. If that's your goal of marriage, then you realize that I have to put up with some messy construction. And sometimes we're going to have to do some redecorating that sometimes gets very messy. I don't know if you've ever been in a house long term, but sometimes after a house has been built for 20, 21, 25 years, it becomes dated.
Well, the Noisemakers got a taste of that tonight when pre-show, when I was talking open mic about the plumbing and how I was taking my number 2 on the so it was a long story. Just go back and watch the beginning of the show. And you're 1,000% correct, Anthony Bruce. That's childish thinking. It is. But how do you break it? How do you break a society that is basically decided that it is better to be childish than to be mature and think about others? Sacrificial building of a community takes great maturity. But we've decided because of maybe I don't want to say it's irreparable, but what appears to be irreparable damage, it has caused us to say I can't trust the construct anymore. And maybe it was because it was so bad from the beginning, but I can't trust that. I got to look out for me. These are my toys. This is my life. This is my family. This is my happiness. I have to look out for me because guess what? Nobody else is going to do it for me. My dad didn't do it. My mama didn't do it. You know what I mean? I can't look out. I can't trust anybody else to protect me but me. Even my husband, even my wife. I don't even know if I want to call you my wife. I don't even know if I want to call you my husband because I don't know if this is going to work. It's really bad.
Well, I just think about my life as a young woman, and man, my mom was really my mom, not Nim, but I remember my mom was really an advocate for, girl, you better get your education. You better get you a job or two. So then can't no man tell you what to do.
And just stop right there. Because that's what happened. And that is what is happening right now in real time, over and over and over and over again, perpetually. We're being told, protect you. Protect you. Above all, protect you. No one is going to be consumed by fear, consumed by hurt, damage, frustration, trauma.
And so that you won't have to. It's sort of like what you were saying earlier. So that as a woman, you don't have to depend on a man to take care of you. you got to be prepared to be able to take care of yourself, because a man can't be depended on. He has no follow through. Or he may start with all this stuff, but he ain't in it for the long haul. So you got to be ready. That's why when we first had premarital counseling, I'm glad that we had that exposed in premarital counseling, that my mom was like, girl, you better keep you some mad money. So if you got to leave, get your babies and go. If anything happens, don't you be dependent on your husband that, if he decides he wants to find somebody else, then there you are with nothing but 2 babies and you left destitute.
I love what Tara's saying. I love what Anthony Bruce is saying. He's saying, even if I'm trying to help, I can't tell you anything. And Tara says, why are we told to protect ourselves? Because the hurt is unbearable, and even if the optics and narratives are pretty great. And then he comes back saying, isn't being married being able to depend on your spouse? That's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
That we're building this together. That's what it's supposed to be. But what it has eroded to be is, I'm a build to the point that I can trust you. But but I don't know if I'm going to ever eliminate the full line of trusting you. I don't know if I can, because I've been historically damaged and hurt. I'm entering this marriage historically damaged and hurt.
And historically, you've been told to make sure you have a safety net. Because I remember that another thing my mother said, when she said that, you keep your last name. Costs too much money to get it back. I'm like, so let me get this straight. So you want me to go in and keep my last name because you anticipate? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you do. But still, that means it's like a safety net. You saying I go in, and this is not, like I said, not shade on anybody that decides to keep their last name, their maiden name, and then, connected to their married name. But I'm just saying that she was telling me it's expensive. And I said, you know what? Then if I got to go in with 1 foot over here, 1 foot over there, just in case, then I might as well not go in.
And Tara, you're right. Juanita, Michael is part of the problem, because instead of honoring her in the failure of their marriage, he questioned the fact that she didn't shoot a jumper and didn't want to pay her nothing. So you're 1,000% correct. But I want to look at the bigger thing that we're talking about here as well, because the reality is, how do we walk it back? How do we fix what Anthony Bruce is saying? That we're not all getting married with 1 foot out the door. We're treating marriage like it's a double dutch. If I can't keep up with this twisting of the ropes, then I'll just jump out.
Yeah.
We don't get in the commitment of the activity, knowing that we're in for the long haul. We don't. We come in saying, I don't have to stay here.
That's right. That's right. It's a microwave generation that says, I don't have to take this. I can say irreconcilable differences. I don't have to fight for it. I don't have to. I don't want to. And that's that. Instead
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Mama Louise. I was just gonna say that it's so true. There's too many people, or there's too many examples of easy outs, and so it's easier to just walk away than to fight. You get less bruises that way.
Right.
That's right.
And let me be clear, because I don't want anybody to say we're crazy. We're not talking about abusive situations.
Yeah.
We're not talking about habitual adulterous situations. We're talking about honest mistakes or challenges that you have. You know what I mean? Honest, like real.
somebody may have made a mistake in some area, and you try to fight to fix it. But if somebody is habitually treating you wrong or habitually doing things, no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about how do you fight through the stuff that is fightable.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Because believe it or not, if you have children, you're raising the next generation that's looking, okay, how do I do it when it's my turn, when I become a wife, or when as a young man become a husband, how do I do it? I'm watching you guys as the example.
Well, but see, that's the thing that I'm trying. I want people. We all need to understand. Everybody is watching. Mm-hmm. Not just our kids is watching us, but our kids are watching other wives and husbands, and everybody's watching everybody. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
But even with that, what is the end game when it comes to children nowadays? It's not to raise successful adults. The end game is to get them to 18. I've done my part.
Oh yeah, that too. Sadly. And I'm so glad we got delivered from that part, because there are people that think that is the end all be all. Is that look?
Oh, absolutely. And it's unfortunate because at 18 they still don't know shit.
Right.
That's facts.
All right.
And these are the people that we're sitting out there saying, "Go get in a relationship."
I'll say this. This is going to be, man. I don't think there's any honor in the lumps and bruises, especially if you could have helped them avoid it. I don't think there is. I think every generation should strive to make things a little bit easier for the next generation. I'm not saying there aren't lessons to be learned, work ethics to be developed, or anything like that. But having the next generation learn every lesson the hard way that you learned, I just don't see the honor in that. I mean, maybe I stand alone, but I just don't.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see the honor in that. And this is listen, we said coming into this conversation, this is going to be a hard one to talk about because it requires everybody to come to the table coupled at how we got here.
I mean,
and that's hard because it is easier to blame one or the other. But the truth of the matter is the response to what they did to you oftentimes is as bad as the thing that was done originally. He cheated on me. Yes, he did. So in response to that, rather than saying, I'm going to leave the situation and go try to heal and get into a better situation, you go and do the same thing, or you go and do damage in the community yourself. That's not an answer. Or you go cheat on somebody else's man because somebody cheated with your man. That's not an answer.
I'm telling you, if we don't do something about it, if we don't get involved in trying to help these young people or be the example, we just gonna keep on making the same mistake over and over again. When I was a teenager, I thought, man, I was so crushed. I was like, so is that what it's about? That's what love's about? So that's what I gotta do? Oh, I can play two can play that game. Let me go stomp on somebody's heart because I didn't appreciate mine being stomped on. I didn't have somebody say, wait a minute. Just because he's a jerk don't mean everybody is.
Right.
And I need you to realize, don't follow in that same pattern.
But that's why I think we got to keep telling both the narratives that there is hope out there. That it's not hopeless. It's not just that every man is gonna cheat or every woman is gonna cheat. We got to tell the whole story. That there are diamonds out there. Now, is it harder to find those things now? What up, Nolan? Is it harder to find those things now? Maybe, but it's probably harder because we've reconstructed again, and maybe this is what we get into on Thursday. We've reconstructed what a good man looks like, what a good woman looks like. We're teaching people that all your wildest dreams probably not going to come true, and everyone's not going to get to ball a house and cars and vacation. Maybe that's part of the narrative. We got to set some honest expectations for what marriage and relationship is. I think Tar said that earlier, talking about the truth. We've got to re-identify what a good man and a good woman is.
And just because they got a car, what did you say, all that baller stuff, doesn't mean that that's a good man or a good woman.
Right.
That's just what it looks like on the gram.
Right.
That doesn't mean, so that means before you bypass, somebody you've seen exactly how they carry themselves, you watch this person, you work with this person, or you interact with this person because you go to the same places or things like that. Don't bypass that person because you've been online and you saw, oh, so-and-so got this and got that, and he's a better potential. Wait a minute. Just, you can't believe everything you see. Some stuff you actually have to have hands-on conversation, and you gotta, I'll tell you, one night I think it was you, Lloyd, that was telling our girls, is like, you don't know a man until you see him get angry. You don't know a boyfriend, or you just don't know. You don't know that person until they get angry. Then you like, okay, is this the same person? It's all of that is something you have to, the socialization of actually interacting with somebody. It can't be just, because this generation, I'm just concerned as a parent, because I'm going, all y'all know is online. And I'm saying, talk to somebody, interact.
Well, and it goes back to also what Tara is saying. There's two different messages that are being sent also. The message of our fussing and the message of our functioning.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, we're saying, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. But then we out here in the same streets doing some of the same reckless stuff. We can't be hypocrites. We can't be double-minded. We got to be consistent throughout the community of what we're saying and what we're doing and what's right. And that's got to speak louder than the other narrative. And we can't celebrate the worst of ourselves. We can't celebrate the narratives that are very improper and damaging anymore. We can't. One of the reasons why I publicly came on and did what I did about the Kanye thing, it was for the main reason of simply saying publicly, when someone has done something that is wrong, including myself, if I've done something wrong, I am now accountable for that wrong. I'm accountable. Listen, I learned something years ago about what happens with my children, and if I get in an argument with my wife or whatever the case may be. I can't act like I didn't get in an argument in front of my kids and with my wife. I can't act like that. I gotta say to my kids, hey, listen, your mother and I, this thing happened, and it wasn't good for you to see what happened, or maybe it was, because now you can see that in a healthy marriage, you may have disagreements, but you can work through those things. But my point is, we can't act like these things aren't happening. We can't act like we can't be hypocrites. We can't say one thing and do a complete opposite thing anymore. And I think for so long we've done that. We've
not been consistent all the way across the board. And that inconsistency, that deliberate inconsistency is part of the bigger problem. So, what a show. What a show. What a show. What a show. We will have to continue this on Thursday because we said we would. And I know some of y'all like, we just getting ramped up. I know, but we gotta unfortunately shut down for the evening. And we will pick this up on Thursday. Again, here's some church announcements. We got the 5. 5 is going to be off the chain tomorrow because we're giving our NBA predictions. We will talk about some of the stuff that went down in college and in NFL. And it was some amazing stuff that happened this past week. And then Thursday morning, we got Believe in the ACC. And then, of course, part 2 on Thursday afternoon. We'll pick this up. Do us a favor. Invite somebody to come join us on Thursday afternoon. Invite them to all the shows, but for sure invite them to Thursday afternoon so they can be a part of this discussion because this is a really good discussion and an important one. And we may continue this for a little while. It's such an important discussion and so many layers to it. We hadn't even begun to skim the surface. We're just getting started. But we want to keep this going because there's something here that we got to flush out, and I think it's important to keep having these hard discussions because these are hard discussions. And there's more. There's so much more that we want to get into. We just only got the question 1 tonight. So we'll get into some more questions as we go. But we love y'all. We're going to bounce out here and take care of some other stuff. But enjoy your Tuesday night. We'll be back to do it all over again for the 5 and on Thursday. Until then, we'll holler.